Hey, what's going on, guys? There was a new patch released today for NHL, and it affected a lot of gameplay and presentation stuff as well, even some stuff for goalies. So I just want to run through it with you guys pretty quickly. Of course, one of the biggest things is the new Dangler class in the ESHL, and people are going to be pretty pumped about just having a new class in general. It'll be interesting to see how this actually plays in competitive sixes, but I tested it out, and here in this footage you can see the attributes for one, and you can also see the gameplay. And I mean, I'm not a very good skater anyway, but it felt pretty smooth. Of course, that could have been to do with the network performance improvements that they made as well in the patch notes. But I like the way it skated. However, it is going to get rocked by bigger player builds who can hit, and it is going to lose the puck to them. Although I did see some people pull off some pretty nice moves with it, I think it's just going to be like an average playmaker. So let's just go down the list. On the February 11th patch, gameplay. So increased attribute effect range to create more player separation. That just means, so now the attributes do more. So if a power forward, let's say, was 85 and something and a playmaker was 70 and something, that gap's going to increase now. Increased range of attribute effects for goalies so that the weaker goalies are further separated from the best ones. That is referring to AI goalies, at least the last part of it is. So now a 65 overall goalie in Hut won't outperform Carey Price. However, we do see a little bit of this reflection in EASHL. You can see here visually represented are the attribute effects. So here's a comparison to a previous game. The goalie attributes are a little lower on all classes, and now, as you see after the patch, the bars are just higher, and honestly, that's not going to have any effect in the way goalies play in-game. Next, increased goalies' ability to save slower low shots and passes towards the net. That affects all goalies, including human goalies. There was a weird animation on passes that they tried to make a save and it'd go 5-hole lot, so that's nice to see. Increased referee strictness when teams are already shorthanded so that penalties no longer go uncalled. I think that explains itself, but just in case you don't know, when you were shorthanded already, it was very hard for you to take a second penalty. Now that's out of there. If you're spamming poke check and stick lift, you're going to get a penalty regardless of if you're already down one man. Increased poke check success when in proper positions. That's good. Increased penalties from stick lift when in the wrong places or at the wrong angles, as it says in the patch. Removed the effect protecting the puck has in resistance to being hit, either with protect the puck or holding the puck out away from your opponent. Note, being in a controlled glide with full balance and or limiting the relative speed of the hit will still be advantageous over skating, performing an action, or higher relative speed hits when trying to stay in control. Next, lowered EASHL AI goalie attributes slightly. That should just make it so that they can't, well, I'm not going to say it's going to make it so they can't make crazy saves, but it should make it a little easier, especially when they quit. Face-offs are now equal across EASHL forward classes to rule out any balance issues. That's very interesting because the reason two-way forwards and grinders were being used at center was because of their face-offs. I'm assuming that's at least what I heard from people. Now that's all gone, so you can use whatever class you'd like. I don't think we're going to see much of a change. There's still advantages to using two-way forward at center because of its defense, and same with grinder, but who knows? Maybe we'll see a bunch of danglers and snipers now. It could change. It'll be interesting to see how it does. Rebalanced EASHL power forward class attributes slightly. I think that's all right. The power forward is used heavily by newer players just because it could do a lot. It could hit, it could shoot, it could deke, and it was tall, so it had a decent poke check. Addressed issue where players would occasionally stay in the penalty box for the rest of the game after the end of their penalty. That's a known glitch. We're glad to see that fixed. Addressed issue where players would not line up correctly when using the aggressive face-off style during an offensive zone face-off. Sometimes, I mean, you don't see this very often anymore, but now there was an issue with it where it just would not line up correctly. You wouldn't even be in the aggressive formation, I believe, so they fixed that. Now, they added a bunch of presentation stuff, new jerseys. I'm not going to go through them, but you can check out the jerseys in the link or in the description of the patch notes. And then online, as I said, they added the Dangler player class and made network performance improvements in EA Sports Hockey League and online team play. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.